as you said, the understanding of or the aggregation of the knowledge and the actions at multiple levels of the organization culminate into that moment of interaction between a person with disability and the care worker. And how does that understanding, not just the managerial staff, but the executive and the board, and how has that impacted the practice evolution within an organization?
We know empirically from our research that the values and the actions of the senior leaders impact on what happens at the front line. So we've proved that sort of empirically, as well as that's part of general organisational sort of theory. But it's about them reinforcing what is important in that organisation and creating the structures for it. So structures and processes are really important because they reinforce the likelihood that there's going to be good practice. So we now have a lot of good evidence about the significance of frontline practice leadership, for example. If that's in place and you've got frontline managers who are also skilled practitioners who have time as part of their role to observe and give feedback to staff, then we know that's going to more likely lead to good outcomes. Now, the role of the senior managers and the board is to make sure that the structures are in place that practice leadership happens. And not to just delegate. What I've seen too much of, if the board says, okay, we need to have this happening, they need to know that it's happening. And the only way they can know is by actually spending some time out there on the front line as well.
And indicators?
And indicators. What sort of indicators? It's like there isn't a checklist that good practice is going to happen. Because we also know that it's pretty fragile. But we know there's things like frontline practice leadership, we know there's things like really strong recruitment policies, training. We know that if you've trained in active support, in both hands-on active support and in a classroom, then there's more likelihood that you're going to do that in practice. If you only have online training with no hands-on training, the chances are you're not going to develop those skills. So there are indicators, and you can have, it depends what level you're operating at. I guess one of the things that concerns me at the moment is there's a lot of ideology driving our systems at the moment.